Into the stretch run of this Napa Auto Parts 150 from Washington. The battling teammates, the 7 of Will Rogers, the 27 of Taylor Riddle. They've been fighting for second for most of this race and trying to keep your leader, Chris Eggleston, in sight with 9 to go.
Taylor Riddle, he's searching around. You watched him down there in 3 and 4. He ran all the way to the top side trying to get good drive off. You know, I'm sure he's being patient with his teammate there, Will Rogers, but I think he's got a little bit better car. He's just got to make sure, and even as this race comes to a close, keep that right rear tire hooked up. The more you heat it up, being aggressive, you're just going to lose overall grip and not be able to have that overall speed.
And that is Vanderwall, the 32. They're attempting to put a lap down. Okay, we talked so much about conserving the tires, but with 7 to go, is that out the window? Is it time to go?
Yeah, I think so, but, you know, like we were saying with Taylor Riddle, he's still got to make sure and be really disciplined with that throttle pedal. The only way to create grip is by keeping those old wore-out tires hooked up, and the only way to do that is be smooth. We always talk about growing up, having an egg up underneath the throttle and don't crack the egg, and that's what these guys really got to focus on to keep that overall speed. But I'm sure they're charging those corners, pushing those tires as hard as they can, but making sure they keep traction in them as well.
And now into lap traffic is the leader, Eggleston in that 99, working on Norman in the 40. There's second and third, and Kraus in fourth, starting to close up a bit on that 27 of Riddle. So don't count out the 19 in that black car, starting to find some lines, and maybe can make a pass late in this race.
Derek Kraus having a really strong run. He's never been to this racetrack at Evergreen Speedway, but he's got a really strong spotter of Eric Holmes up on the spotter stand, coaching him through. Eric's won some races here, always ran well in the 16 Napa car for Bill McAnally, so great driver coach up on that spotter stand. And Chris Eggleston, he's in a good spot right here. I know he's trying to navigate through that lap traffic and keep those guys behind him, but I'm sure he's counting those laps down, and just as a leader, you're always kind of waiting on something to go wrong and have that late race caution.
Especially as this battle heats up even further. Been a great one all night between the 7 and the 27, and look at sliding that car around. Derek Kraus gonna let it all hang out to try to move up to third. He's down to the inside. Riddle goes way high.
Yeah, Riddle's been pushing that groove out, trying to get that forward drive that we've been preaching all night long. I'm sure Will Rogers in the 7 is going, come on, guys, cut me a break. These are 2 lap cars racing side by side. He's just trying to figure out which one's going to prevail. Might try to take it 3 wide. He can't waste any time here as he's got those 2 racers behind him, the 27 and 19 breathing down his back.
And the 19, Kraus, shows the inside. Riddle's able to get down there and block it. 3 wide nearly coming out of this corner and dealing with the lap traffic, the 13 of Todd Souza.
Yeah, these guys, they got to be on their toes. They got to be aggressive, but you got to be easy.
Oh! And getting punted by the 19 of Kraus is the 27 of Riddle.
Man, what a tough break for Taylor Riddle. He's been having such a strong car all night long. Really good run for him, being a rookie to this series. I know he's going to be frustrated with Derek Kraus, but you coming down the end, everyone's going to be aggressive.
And what did you say about the leader, Eggleston? Waiting for something to go wrong, and here it is. The caution comes out when he apparently had victory on lock, and we're going to have a late race restart.
I'm sure he's going to be calling me next week and telling me I jinxed him on this one.
All right, take us through this one, Brandon.
Yeah, these guys are just battling hard, fighting for the bottom. Looks like Derek Kraus got in there a little hot, but definitely got pinched by the 27 of Taylor Riddle. Just fighting for that same real estate behind those 2 lap cars. It's just looks like a racing deal. I know it's got to be aggravating for Taylor, but you can see they're just both fighting for that bottom, trying to get around these 2 lap cars with just a few laps to go. Looks like the 19 started sliding up a little bit and just tags the 27, and around it goes.
So Riddle, second and third for the majority of this race, is now going to have to go to the back and just try to salvage something at what could have been a great night. Let's go to Derek.
Well, guys, a tough break for Derek Kraus in the number 19 machine, the Carlisle Tools by Napa Toyota. He got into the back end of Taylor Riddle as they went into turn number 1. The NASCAR officials saw it, and they assessed a 1-lap penalty to Derek Kraus. This is going to hurt his chances in the point standings right now as he sits third in the points.
Yeah, that is going to affect him for sure. A rookie going for third in the series. On the other end, there is some good news for Riddle. They had lapped so far forward. He's still on the outside of row 3 on this restart, despite being spun. So an opportunity there, but taking advantage of all of this action is Nicole Bihar. That black and yellow car is third now.
Nicole had some issues earlier on getting wrapped up with Takuma Koga down in turn 1. There we see Michael Self on the outside of row 2. I know he's going to be hungry, trying to get back in the victory lane in this series.
Bihar in a backup car, so what a huge turnaround for her weekend. Maybe can make a run for the win, but they're all aiming for Eggleston. Going to try to make that outside line work for the last time in the 99. It's been good all night, but look at the 7. Making it happen, Will Rogers. Can he get the lead?
Looks like both of those guys spun those tires, but that's definitely the best restart we've seen down on the bottom. Will Rogers really pushing that 7 car, trying to hang tough with the 99 and Chris Eggleston.
And Eggleston once again controls it. Now 2 to go. Bihar is broken away from Self. Julia Landauer down on the inside of Self, trying to get to 4th. Eggleston, can he get away from Rogers with 1 to go?
Yeah, teammates back here. Michael Self in the 9 and Julia Landauer in the 6, really pushing their cars, trying to hang in the top 5, but Taylor Riddle has that outside line rolling, getting that good launch off of turn 2.
He's going to try to salvage a good finish on a night that could have been great. And there is Gilliland, who had his own problems tonight. And the one thing he didn't want to see was his teammates score max points. But that's exactly what's going to happen. Chris Eggleston from the pole to the win here at the Napa Auto Parts K&N Pro Series 150 in Evergreen. And well done, by the way, for Will Rogers, finishing up in 2nd, and Bihar 3rd from all the way to the back of the grid earlier in this race.
I know Will Rogers has to be really excited as he's trying to become an oval guy. That's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, he challenged Eggleston right to the end in this one. We'll talk to our top drivers when we return. K&N Pro Series Racing on NBCSN is brought to you by K&N High Flow Air Filters and Air Intake Systems, because everyone loves that fast car smell. What a race tonight from Evergreen Speedway, the Napa Auto Parts 150. On paper, it's going to say Chris Eggleston led every lap, but it was a whole lot more exciting than that would indicate. He had 2 young drivers challenging him for the win, but ultimately he comes out on top, and this is big because he's in title contention as well, 2nd in the points, but a whole lot closer now. Here's Derek.
Chris Eggleston dominates here tonight at the Evergreen Speedway. What a run for you in a race that you just had complete control over.
Yeah, I didn't feel like it at all. I mean, I felt like I was using it up. The spotter was in my ear every quarter of a lap, just trying to give us guidance on where 2nd and 3rd place was, so I knew how hard to drive it in and off. Ty, good job, Will, man, proud of you. Will Rogers, man, a road course specialist, giving me a run for my money, and that was a lot of fun in that last restart. I knew he was going to drive us clean, and just thank everybody with Napa Filters for believing in me and just helping putting this program together over here at Bill McAnally Racing. Thank everybody with 3M, Chicago Pneumatic, Trico Welding Supplies, all these great fans here at Evergreen Speedway, and then all these guys right here that build fast race cars. Bill McAnally himself, thank him, top of the world, you know. So, man, to come here 2nd last year, I wanted that win so bad. We were able to capitalize and get our first win here at Evergreen Speedway.
Chris Eggleston tightens up that point lead between he and Todd Gilliland going into the last 4 races here in the NASCAR K&N Pro Series West.
4th win of the season for him, and the Bill McAnally team has been perfect except for that one time where Kevin Harvick showed up at the road course in Sonoma. The teammates have won every other race. These are your final results. Self 4th, and Riddle, that hard drive on the outside in the last lap, it worked. He got himself to 5th ahead of Landauer. Levine, Souza 7th and 8th, and Gilliland 12th. That's really going to hurt after the flat tire. It cost him a whole bunch of points. Let's go back down to Derek trying to sort out a crazy night.
Well, the last time we talked to Will Rogers, he was sitting in victory lane at the Watkins Glen International, and that was on a road course. But here, 2nd place on an oval, and not too bad for someone who doesn't consider himself an oval track guy.
Yeah, not too bad. Coming from a win last week to 2nd place here at Evergreen, I know this place is hard to get around, and that's nothing to sneeze at for sure. Had a lot of fun, learned a lot. I think we're picking up our oval game, so who knows? Maybe we'll get a win here soon.
Was that last caution your only shot at the leader, or did you feel yourself catching him? Because we were watching you on the time charts. You were a little bit faster than him, but just by a 10th or 2.
Yeah, it's hard to really tell who's faster here when the gap grows. You know, it's really hard to make up time. We're just fighting drive off the whole time. So I knew, yeah, the restart was going to be crucial. And we put it in there as hard as, you know, we could without getting the 99 loose. I wanted the race clean, and we did. He ended up getting the lead, but, you know, still a great 2nd place finish.
Not bad for a guy who doesn't consider himself an oval track racer. Will Rogers comes home in 2nd.
Might have to start changing his mind on that one after a great drive tonight. So much talk about the points, and look at this. It's gone from 18 to 2 in just one night. Eggleston very much alive in this championship chase. Rough one for Derek Kraus, but he's still 3rd. Let's go back to Derek.
Well, Nicole Behar destroyed her primary car in practice earlier in the day, rolled out the backup car, and it proved to be a pretty fast piece. And how good was that car tonight?
The car was really, really good. To unload and be that fast, that's just very impressive on my team, and I couldn't thank them enough for all the hard work this weekend and the hard work that's going to have to come. It was an exciting race to even start, 30 laps in. The 19 got a little impatient with the lap car, and the lap car collected me in the wall. First 75 wasn't very good, just trying to hang on and not get a lap down. And when we came in, got the break, just being able to fix the car, put new tires on it, beat the nose out, get a little more rear stagger, it drove amazing. And I was hoping we had something firm at the end, have a green-white checkered, but we were just a little bit free off, and I'm happy with a third. That's like a win for today.
Was the outside lane the preferred lane to be in on the restarts?
I like the bottom because I could get my car to hook the white line, but it depends on what your car is. For my car, that's just what worked.
Nice strong run today for Nicole Behar.
Backup car, early crash, back in the grid, works her way up to third. That's what not giving up will do for you. And don't give up on us. Our next show, the Wheeling Up Modified toward the Busch Beans 150 from Bristol. That'll be on Saturday, August 26th, airing at 3 p.m. Eastern Time.